minutes of stoppage time. Martinez as an open man. For Estrada, the shot saved. That is it. Sigi Schmid and Bruce Arena meeting in the middle. Seattle taking the Galaxy to the very limit tonight.
For Sigi to have Seattle and Bruce LA, it's the rivalry on the West. We're always the top two teams battling against each other.
They both take special satisfaction out of beating each other.
Bruce and Sigi both successful in college games and then both successful in the pros. So you can always feel it's just a big game.
Robbie, tuck in, tuck in.
Come around. Now we're organized, now we're organized.
Since MLS began play in 1996, two coaches have dominated the league. The LA Galaxy's Bruce Arena and the Seattle Sounders' Sigi Schmid. The pair rank first and second in all-time wins, and between them won 7 of the first 20 MLS Cup championships.
I would call both those guys the Godfathers of U.S. soccer. They've done it all.
Run by him, Robbie. You can run by him. You can beat him.
Now in their 14th and 17th years in MLS, Arena and Schmid are two different personalities with a singular pursuit of victory.
Go at him! Go at him! Go at him!
For Schmid, not even doctor's orders to keep a broken leg elevated could keep him off the sidelines in 2016.
The fight to get back and be with the team, it's his life, man. It's what he loves to do. You got to respect that.
Thought that was a PK. The guy took Clint on that cross. Nobody seemed to see it except for the crowd.
Guys like Bruce and Sigi that have had success clearly have, as a starting point, they're competitive people.
Arena began his soccer career as a goalkeeper at Cornell University, where he also thrived as an attacker on the lacrosse team.
He told me the first couple shots he would take every game, back then the goalkeepers didn't wear masks. So he'd try to hit the goalkeeper right in the nose and rattle him a little bit the first 2 or 3 shots he had, and then he'd try to score.
Arena's unyielding toughness continued after he became the head soccer coach at the University of Virginia.
I remember the very, very first day on the job. I had driven from Ithaca, New York to Charlottesville, Virginia, and he was expecting me at noon, and I got in at 12:30, and rather than going, "Dave, welcome, it's great to have you," his first reaction was, "Hey, where you been?"
Under Arena, Virginia won 5 national titles, including 4 straight. Meanwhile, at West Coast powerhouse UCLA, Schmid was building a program that would win 3 titles of its own, and earned a reputation as one of America's best evaluators of young talent.
For me, he means a lot, probably more than he understands. He was the one that, as a coach, helped push, certain players into a national team. He helped me see that light as far as what could possibly happen, within the soccer world.
We won a national championship together. That team had 7 or 8 guys who went on to the national team and the Olympic team, and probably 12 guys who ended up playing pro.
In 1996, Schmid remained at UCLA, while Arena left college for MLS to coach DC United, and led his team to back-to-back championships in the league's first 2 seasons.
Moreno, goal! And a big one for the champions.
After reaching the 3rd league final in 1998, Arena was named coach of the U.S. men's national team. Under Arena, America had its best World Cup showing in 70 years, reaching the quarterfinals in 2002 in South Korea.
His management of players has been extraordinary. He knows how to get that little something extra off of the 18th player.
Bruce is always finding little ways kind of like keep things light, trash talking.
Gold Cup 2005, halftime, and we get into the locker room, and first thing he says, "Hey, Pat, are you hurt?" I said, "No, I'm fine." "Then do something."
To have a good working relationship with players is important because you got to keep them corralled and they've got to understand their responsibilities. You do that in a variety of ways.
After the U.S. failed to advance out of the group stage in the 2006 World Cup, Arena was sacked. He returned to MLS to coach the New York Red Bulls.
You got him wide. Don't cut into where the support is.
Meanwhile, Schmid had made the switch from college to MLS in 1999, and in 2002, he coached the LA Galaxy to their first championship. He won his second MLS Cup in 2008, this time at Columbus.
He has so much passion for the game. He wants it so much for his players, for the team, for the organization. That Columbus team in 2008, the hardworking, disciplined approach with the right combination of youth and experience, and that was a Sigi team, if you ask me.
Shortly after winning the Cup, Sigi surprised Columbus by accepting an offer to return to the West Coast and coach the expansion Seattle Sounders FC. Schmid has led them to 4 U.S. Open Cup titles.
That's an interesting clearance. Close him, close him. It's right there, he's right there, he's right there.
I've always described my style of coaching as I'm a nag, so I'm chirping in your ear a little bit. I'm not a coach who, okay, let's stop it and let's redo this play again.
Good recovery. Come on, Alonzo.
It's not a sport about the coaches making every decision for you. You have to make decisions as a player on the field, and the role of a coach is to pass on some clues, pass on some hints, but at the end of the day, it's a player's game.
In Los Angeles, where Arena has coached the Galaxy since 2008, those closest to him know he is as determined as ever.
His attention to detail is pretty outstanding. You could go into his office and find a practice that he did 20 years ago. He has them all in filing cabinets.
Very good, Oscar. He's just a student of team games. Back at UVA, our soccer office shared a wall with the visiting basketball team, and we would listen. Maybe I shouldn't say that on camera, but we would listen to opposing coaches to get a sense of how managers manage teams like basketball.
I think basketball and soccer are very similar. When the other team has the ball, how you press, and when you have the ball, how you space yourself to be dangerous going forward.
Sebastian, way too tight here, Sebastian.
Anyone can assemble good talent, and the challenge is always to get players to mesh together and become a good team.
Beckham on the header. Now Keane again. Donovan has done it, and at last, LA Galaxy have their goal.
In LA, Arena helped turn a team of underachieving stars into a dynasty, winning MLS Cup in 2011, 12, and 14. The path to the finals has usually run through Seattle, where gamesmanship has only fueled the rivalry.
Once it gets to the fall, it's a little bit crisper in the air. That's when the Seattle-LA games really get good and testy.
When LA arrived in Seattle for a playoff game in 2014, the Galaxy were surprised to discover that ice had not been cleared off the field before they were scheduled to practice.
Were you able to do anything?
Yeah, we ran around a little. It was fun. We don't expect to get any favors when we visit here.
That year, the rivalry reached its peak twice, as Seattle secured their first ever Supporters' Shield with a late season victory over LA, only to be eliminated by the Galaxy weeks later in the conference finals. LA would go on to win its third MLS Cup in 4 years. Their quest to make it 4 and 5 years, however, ended in 2015 in Seattle, when the Sounders beat them in the knockout round of the playoffs.
The Seattle Sounders have knocked out the defending champion Los Angeles Galaxy.
Whenever Seattle and LA play, the storyline is certainly the stars on the field, but it's also Bruce and Sigi.
It's a good pass. Go on, Kovar. Strong, Kovar. Take the foul.
You have two coaches that are considered at the top of the American coaching game.
Go, Robbie, go. Up the field. Go, go, go.
These two are always going to be put up against each other.
Bruce has a very good ability to put pieces of the puzzle together, and a great ability to get happier the closer the game comes and sort of takes tension off his teams.
Any questions with anything? It's a great night out there.
But we're both, I think, organized, motivated, and want to win.
Come on, come on, come on. Find your marks inside.
If you follow the history of our league, expansion teams don't come in and start working on all cylinders.
Step up!
But Seattle has been consistently among the good teams in Major League Soccer.
Yes! There you go!
It's a tribute to Sigi. I'm sure other people want to take credit, but that's a tribute to Sigi.
Drop, Robbie, drop!
We both want to succeed, and without a doubt, he has won more titles than I have.
Well done, Robbie, well done.
The thing I'm always very proud of is I think I've produced more players for the national team.
Let Clint push high, all the way high, okay?
So I'll try and hang my hat on that, and he can hang his hat on the titles.
Their records speak for themselves, being able to win MLS Cubs and just their longevity.
They're iconic figures. They had a great dimension and a great dynamic that really at this point is unmatched as far as what they've been able to accomplish.